For this week's Wellbeing Wednesday, I want to talk about the topic of control. Control is something that has such impact in our mindsets and in our well-being in all different aspects. Recently, I read an article by Morin and Inc. that talked about 6 tips specifically to help us to find that balance of control, to be able to help us to have better well-being and a better mindset. One of the first things that was talked about was the idea of focusing on your influence, focusing on the fact that you can be a role model, that you can set behavior, that we can't change other people's behavior, but we can affect how we react to it, how we perceive it, how we think about it. Also, it's really important to focus on our fears and to understand what is triggering for us. Many times we focus on the worst case scenario and spend so much of our time thinking that we can't handle these circumstances instead of recognizing our internal power and that we can handle things. Sometimes just stopping and taking a second to think through what that worst case scenario could be and how we would actually target it and approach it and have a problem solving response can play such a difference in terms of how our mindset is and our level of well-being. This also plays into the difference between ruminating and problem solving. It's one thing to just think over and over and over again about things that we cannot change versus shifting our focus to, okay, maybe things didn't go the way I wanted them to, but what can I do to actually have an impact and to make my thinking productive? Additionally, creating stress management plans for ourselves. You hear me talk week after week about healthy eating, exercise, sleeping well, and other strategies for healthy coping. Additionally, for many people, they find healthy affirmations can play a really big role. Having some type of mantra that keeps us focused, recognizing, you know what, I can do this. Maybe things weren't always positive, but I've gotten through it in the past. And that gets to the most important, the 6th key tip, is recognizing that we need to focus on the things that we can control instead of the things that we can't control. If we're realistic, there are so many aspects of our lives that there's nothing we can do about. So maybe it's going to be the fact that we need to pivot. Maybe we're planning to be outside and now we have a rainy day. And instead of having our cute heels, we need to skip and switch to our rain boots. But if we remember the quotes by Maya Angelou and the song by Gary Allan, every storm eventually runs out of rain. Be well.